All right, folks, we are live today. As promised, today in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to get started with flipping properties. If you watch this video, you are no longer going to have an excuse on why you haven't done your first flip. Okay, so if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you probably are looking to do your first flip. You're looking to get started. You like the idea of it. Maybe you've watched the HGTV shows like I have. You like the idea of that, but you don't know where to get started, or you just simply don't want to do it by yourself. In this video that I am creating today, I'm going to be showing you how we can partner together on flips. Okay. Instead of you doing it on your own, instead of coming up with all your own money, I will, if you follow the things that I'm going to put in this video and the next steps at the end of this video that I'm going to share with you, I will partner with you on a flip. I will help you come up with the money. I will help you come up with construction estimates. And while we are going through the process, I will show you how my systems are in place. You will get access to those systems. And if you want to do one flip together and then do all your rest of your flips on your own, hey, no problem. We won together on one. If you want to do 3 together or 5 together until you feel comfortable enough to move on and do them on your own, we can do that too. But it certainly helps to have somebody who's done it before show you the ropes so that you're not having to learn the hard way. Unfortunately, a lot of people on their first flip, the majority of people lose money on their first flip. Most people don't know that, but if your numbers aren't right, then I'm going to go over some numbers today. If your numbers aren't right, if you go way over budget because you're trying to make the house too nice for that particular area, you over rehab the property. That's another common way. And then sometimes, you just don't have good contractors. You don't have, a good contract in place before you get going. You didn't pick the right person. Your contractor quits halfway through the job. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. And so unfortunately, a lot of people do their first flip and they either lose money or they just barely break even. And, it takes them 4 to 6, maybe even 8 months or longer to do it. And it wasn't worth the time they put into it. So that would be some reasons why having a partner who's doing this stuff every day, may make sense for you. So let's go ahead and jump on into these slides that I've got here today. I'm a black and white kind of guy. All right, my slides are not fancy. I apologize if you were expecting something fancier than that. I'm an analytical personality, so I'm normally wearing black or gray or white. I'm not a very colorful kind of guy. So my slides are that way. But I'll tell you, as we're going through this stuff today, I just want you to realize, something that I've learned in the last couple of years. I've got a 7-year-old who's really good at video games. We have this thing on Xbox called Game Pass, where we pay like $16 or $17 a month. And every month there are new games that we can play on the Xbox, which is great for us because we never have to go to the game store. My kids, I've got a 3-year-old as well. My kids are terrible about taking the discs out of the cases, throwing them in the floor. They fall behind the TV. They get scratched up and the disc don't work. So what happens is when Joe finds a new video game on the Xbox, he plays it while I'm at work. He gets out of school, he goes home, plays video games after he does his homework. I come home from work. He's excited to show me the game. He hands me the controller to let me play, and I'm dead in 10 seconds. Okay. So it's not that he is smarter than me. I mean, maybe one day he will have a higher IQ than me. He probably will because I'm pretty average. It's not that he's smarter than me. It's that he's played that game longer than me, right? So when you hear people sharing things on these kind of settings, you got to realize I'm not smarter than you. I've just played this game a little bit longer than you have, okay? There are probably people out there way better than me at this kind of stuff. But if you're just wanting to get started, don't feel like you've got to know everything. You've got to be an expert on everything. I hate to tell you, no matter how much time, energy, and research you do, you will learn things on your first deal that you never could have expected. Okay. So The reason why I didn't make it past the bad guy 10 seconds in is because I didn't know the bad guy was going to pop up. But if I had somebody like Joe telling me, and which is what we do now, hey, you got to tell me when this stuff is coming up, man. I've kind of got him to help me through, the first level, getting started on the video game. So that's how flipping houses is as well. At some point, you just got to make the jump. You got to go out and play the game. The only way you're going to get better at this game is to actually play it. And once you finish watching this video today, you are not going to have an excuse to not get out there and do your first flip. If you don't do your first flip after watching this video, it's just because you really don't want to do it. Okay. I'm going to make this so easy for you. Okay. So let me jump into it. So we're going to go through some flipping basics today. I'm going to go over from you what I need from you as far as a partner goes. I'm also going to go over what I don't need from you. And then I'm going to go over some next steps. So let's go ahead and jump into that. So flipping basics. So Emily Smith is one of the agents here at this local first class real estate office. And she's been wanting to do her first flip for a while. Started coaching and training her on what to look for. And she went out and found a really good deal on an off-market property, but she was just kind of scared to do it on her own. So she brought it to me and said, hey, is this something you would be interested in us doing together? And I said, well, maybe. We've got to run some numbers first, right? So we ran some numbers. We got some estimates for the rehab. Scope of work is very important. When you're telling your contractor to give you an estimate, you've literally got to go room by room through every room of the house and go over electrical, lighting fixtures, electrical outlets, windows, flooring, paint, trim, ceilings, doorknobs, doors. You've got to go through everything, or else the estimates you're going to get from these folks is not going to be accurate. And then they're going to be frustrated that they're having to ask you all these questions, and it's going to be clear that you don't know what you're needing. So we went room by room through this property. We got estimates back, 2 estimates actually, and verified that, hey, I think we have a deal here. Let's do this. We moved forward together as partners on the deal, and we bought it. I've got a video here. I don't know if it'll play or not. StreamYard's sometimes kind of weird. I had a video here. You can go to my Facebook page and see this, but we demoed the whole property. I don't think it's going to work on here through StreamYard. We demoed the property, and right now they just finished with the roof. They're about to start sheetrocking. They're about to start flooring, and we are in a deal together as partners. Okay. So when it comes to getting funding for properties, there's 3 main ways. Most of you are probably familiar with bank financing. You go to the bank, you apply, you give them tax returns, you give them bank statements, you give them, a blood sample. I mean, we haven't quite got that far, but it's almost to that point. You do everything short of giving them a blood sample and a lie detector test, right? It's a very taxing process, even for buyers on the traditional buying side that have 800 credit scores. There's a lot that they have to do because of their regulations. Okay, a hard money lender is kind of like a bank, but not quite as strict. They don't need quite as much financial information from you. Normally, you are not getting approved for the property based on your income so much. It's more about, will this property make money or not? They will give you money to buy the property, to rehab the property. They'll charge some points. They'll charge some interest throughout the process. But really what they care about is the property, not you individually. So you don't have to make, if you're watching this, you don't have to make 100,000 plus a year to get into flipping. If you find good deals on properties, like I'm going to show you later, then you can get funding for these properties. So hard money is probably the most common way that most people do flips. Those of us that are doing this on more of a full-time level use private money. So let me kind of go through a little bit of that. When it comes to, sorry, I clicked the wrong thing here. When it comes to hard money, they're normally going to require a 15% down payment. So you put 15% down, and then they will fund the rest of the purchase price of the house, and they will fund 100% of the construction via draws. Okay, so if it's going to cost $100,000 to rehab a property, which is the one that I'm currently partnered with Emily on, is right at $100,000 for rehab. They don't just give you 100 grand at one time. That would be reckless, right? Some people might take the 100 grand and leave town and never be heard or seen of again, right? Or you give the 100 grand to your contractor at the beginning of the project. Good luck with that. Okay. So the way they do it is they do it in draws. So I put here, this is like a very basic breakdown. Our actual draw schedules are a lot more detailed than this, but just want you to kind of understand the concept. So draw number one might be demo, renting the dumpster. We had to get 2 dumpsters for that one, and putting on a roof. Okay. So they do those things. You front the money for that. In our case, I fronted the money for the draw. I fronted the money for the materials, the labor, all that kind of stuff. And then after that phase one, draw one is complete, they will send somebody out to the property to say, yes, the demo got done. The dumpster was here. I got proof of the invoice, and I can tell that a new roof got done. And then they will reimburse me the $15,000 that I put out. Okay. You may have a contractor who is fronting these costs. And the great thing about that is it creates a sense of urgency for them. You think if you've been writing, 2,000 here, 500 here, 1,500 here, and you're out 15,000 bucks as a contractor, you're going to be motivated to get that phase done so that you can get your money back, right? So that's why it kind of works this way. So that might be phase one. Phase two might be, sheetrock, electrical, the plumbing, rough in, for your kitchens and for your bathrooms. But they don't release all the money at one time. That's actually a great thing for us. It protects us from shady contractors, shady subcontractors. Worst case scenario, you might be out 10 or 15,000 bucks if you had somebody skip town. Way less devastating than 100 grand, right? So the hard money lender requires 15% down up front. They want you to have some skin in the game. Okay. They will fund 100% of the construction through draw. So you front the money first, and then when the phase is complete, you get paid back. And then there are interest only payments that are due throughout this construction process. Normally, in my area, those construction, interest only payments have been in like the $1,500 to $1,800 range per month. Okay. And the reason we do this is there's an opportunity cost. Okay. You might be on this video today and say, well, hey, I just need the money to buy the house. I've got the money in the bank to do the rehab. Hey, that's okay too. That's totally fine. But there's an opportunity cost to you having a lot of your money or all of your money tied into one property. And that is, what if another equal or better opportunity property comes along the way, but you've got all your money tied up in this one deal? Okay. You don't want to ever go out there and find a property and have to say no simply because you don't have the funds. So that's why, even though, I've got a pretty good operating account at this point, I could self-fund a decent amount of my deals. I still use hard money or private money because there's an opportunity cost for me having a lot of my cash out on the table in one deal. I want to keep some cash back so that if another opportunity comes along, I want to have cash in the bank to go do that deal as well, even if I just buy it and sit on it for a minute. And hey, when I'm done with this one, I know I'm going on to that one. So that's why most of us in the industry who are, professional real estate investors are using hard money and using private money. Okay. Nothing wrong with using your own. Just want you to realize there's an opportunity cost. Private money is the best if you can get it. All right. I put on there rich uncle money. That's an easy way to describe it. There's people out there all over the place that have money sitting in the bank right now. In fact, right now, we've had a couple years of, the COVID stimulus payments, the PPP loans, people selling their real estate for record prices. There's actually more money sitting in bank accounts right now across America than there ever has been in the history of our country. Not just dollar amount wise, but like percentage wise. So there's a lot of people that have money sitting in their bank account that's just sitting there, and they want to do something with it. They want to put it into something, but they just don't know what. They might be scared of crypto, which I am. I'm not putting any money in crypto. They might be worried about stock market. I have very little money in the stock market. I don't like investing in companies that I have no control over what they do or don't do. So I put my money in real estate. And there are people out there looking for something to invest in. And I spend a lot of my time today going out and talking with people about using their money and putting it into our real estate investing platform, whether we're using it for a flip or to buy a rental or to buy an Airbnb. I prefer dealing with private money. I don't have to give tax returns, bank statements. It's really what I love about private money is it's whatever me and them agree to. So sometimes you pay the purchase price or the rehab cost, and they pay the other. So you put up the money to buy the house, they put up the money to rehab it. Could be vice versa. Sometimes they pay for everything. All right. If you start doing more deals, they'll trust you even more, and they'll start wanting to give you more money. Is what I found. Actually, some of my private money lenders today text me, "Hey man, you got another deal I can do?" They like putting money with me because I pay, and I'm ethical, and I do what I say I'm going to do, and they always get paid. Okay. Sometimes there are interest only payments due during the construction phase. Sometimes it's all paid at the end. 10 to 12% flat interest is typical. So if I had a private money lender that gave me 150K to buy a property and rehab it, I might just give them a flat 10% interest and have it all due at the end when I'm selling the property. So they gave me 150, 10% of that would be 15K. So I would owe them back 165,000 for the 150 that they gave me, but they didn't have to deal with the property. They didn't have to deal with the contractor. They didn't have to pick out paint colors. They're just giving their money. It's a pretty passive investment for them. And again, I wanted to bring up opportunity costs. If you've got a lot of your money into one deal, you're in a dangerous spot. So if you've got the money, hey, kudos to you. Great. I'm glad you do. I would still recommend going this route because you might find a better deal along the way. Um, Question on here was, do they charge points too? Mine don't. But again, it's whatever you and them work out between the two of you. But I never pay points. I never pay a down payment, and I don't pay interest payments throughout the process normally. But in the beginning, I did. So, sometimes you have to pay points, sometimes you have to pay down payments, sometimes you have to pay interest payments throughout the process until you've built that relationship with them and built that trust. And then later on, you can kind of go back to them and say, hey, I got this deal, but here's how I want to structure it this time. Okay. Um, so on the one that Emily Smith and I are doing together, again, she's the agent here in the office that we're doing a flip together on. She found the property. I helped her get rehab estimates because she didn't even know where to get started on that. Once we got those rehab estimates back, she had had conversations with the seller about what they would sell it for. And so we took that number that the seller said they would sell it for. We took the rehab estimates that we got, and we verified that we had a deal. So we went to a hard money lender. I paid the 15% down. Emily is paying the interest only payments. We are both funding the draws throughout the process, and we will both recoup our money at the end of this thing. Okay. So any money that we put into the deal, when we sell the property, we will get that money back, and we will 50-50 whatever the profit was on the property. Okay. So here's some numbers of what we're looking at. Bought it for 70K. That was the purchase price of the property. I put up 15% down, which was 10,500. The hard money lender funded the rest of the 70,000. So that means we had a loan balance on the house of 59.5 of the 70,000. Let's just say it takes us 4 months to do this property, which is probably pretty realistic. And let's just say Emily pays 4 interest payments of $1,400, actually $1,500 through the process. So 4 payments times $1,500 is $6,000 that she's put into it. let's say that construction costs are 100 grand. We're hoping to sell it for 280. But when it comes to these numbers here, we're going to be conservative. Worst case scenario, we think we're going to sell it for at least 260. We're going to subtract out the $100,000 in construction cost, the 59.5 that we owe to the bank or to the hard money lender on the purchase price. I'm going to get my 10,500 back that I put in the deal. Emily's going to get her $6,000 back that she put into the deal. And then me and her are going to split the remaining profit of 84,000, which means she gets 42 and I get 42. Okay. And she's had somebody show her the process. She's got somebody showing her the way. She didn't have to just jump into this thing all by herself. Okay. So I think there's some training value to that. So if this is something you'd be interested in, that's just one way we could partner together. There are other ways we could as well, but that's probably the most common way to do it. So here's what I need from you if you want to be a partner. The hardest part of finding flips is finding the flips, finding the properties to flip. Okay. Most of the ones that you're going to find that are going to be good deals, good enough for us to flip, are going to be off market. They're not going to be listed with an agent. They're not going to be listed for sale by owner. They're going to be off market properties. I'm going to show you how to do that here in just a minute. I also need from you, I need numbers. Okay. You're probably going to have some conversations with the seller about what they would sell for. All right. We're going to have to come up with what we think. You make your best guess at it of what you think the house is going to be worth after it's been rehabbed, the after repair value. So if it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, what are other 3-bedroom, 2-baths going for in that neighborhood that are modern and updated? They don't have to be new construction. They don't have to be properties that were flipped. But if we're going to flip a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in the neighborhood, what are other 3-bedroom, 2-baths going for that are in good condition? Okay. You should be able to find that. It's pretty easy. And then estimated rehab costs. Okay. That's something that you'll have to get from a contractor. I would never, ever rely on your numbers unless you are a contractor yourself. We're going to rely on a contractor to get those numbers. Okay. And so I need you to do some due diligence on it. You'll need to be the one, talking with the contractor, meeting the contractor. I've got enough on my plate, just so you know, just full transparency. I'm looking for flips every day. I've got a team of virtual assistant cold callers that right now, while I'm recording this video, I've got people calling homeowners in my area looking for people who would say, yes, I would be willing to sell that house. I've got mailers going out, over 1,000 pieces of mail a month. I've got Facebook ads going. I've got emails going out every day. I'm looking at the MLS every day to see what properties are on the market with agents and sending offers on those properties. So my entire day, a big portion of it is around finding properties. Okay. So that is the hardest part of it. If you go out and do like Emily did and you find a property and we run the numbers and it's a deal and it makes sense for both of us, we will do the deal. Okay. But I need your help finding the property. So this is what I need from you. Here's what I don't need from you. Okay. I don't need you to send me Zillow links or realtor.com links and say, hey, Phil, what do you think about this one? Well, I don't know. What did you have a conversation with the seller? Did you write an offer on it? Can we get it for less? Please don't send me Zillow links or realtor.com links or Facebook marketplace listings and say, hey, what do you think about this one? I need you to go the next step and actually communicate with them and figure out what you think you can get the property for. Put in a verbal offer, put in an offer by email. These are things I'm going to show you here in just a second that you can do. But please don't just send me a Zillow link or a realtor.com link and say, hey, Phil, what do you think about this one? Had a question here as we're doing this. Do you get the contract with the homeowner first and then get your contractor out there or before? I will come back to that in a second, but I never get my contractor out there until I have a property under contract. Again, they're busy guys too. And if they're out there walking through properties with you that you don't even have under contract, that you don't even know if you can get them under contract for the right price, you're wasting your contractor's time. And it won't be long before they stop taking your phone calls. Okay. So always get the property under contract. I'm going to show you, there are some tools out there where you can go through a house and say, hey, if I need to replace 4 windows, I'm going to put 4 into this spreadsheet, and it's going to tell me about how much it's going to cost to replace 4 windows. I need to paint this thing, and it's 1,200 square feet house. This is how much it would cost to paint a 1,200 square feet house. You can do an initial estimate yourself. So I would not ever get a contractor involved until you've actually got a property under contract that you think is going to be a deal. So good question. In Alabama, we have a due diligence period and inspection period on a property. Most of the offers that I send on a daily basis are sight unseen. And if we get one under contract, let's say we send a low offer on a property and it gets accepted, we go out to the house and we realize, man, like, this is not what we thought it was going to be. We can get out of the contract because we're doing our inspection on the property. You don't have to hire a professional home inspector. You don't have to send them a copy of your home inspection report to get out of that contract, at least in Alabama. I can get a property under contract today. I can go out to it tomorrow, run the numbers in my spreadsheet, and I can say, this is definitely not a deal. Let's break the contract. That's how I would recommend going about it. Okay. Sight unseen, looking at pictures. Most people have pretty good cameras on their phone these days, and you can kind of tell a lot of times what you're getting before you ever show up to the property. Yeah. Okay. So next steps, if this is something you're interested in, you're interested in doing some flips together. I need you to find a deal. I'm going to show you how in just a minute. I'm actually going to give you some tools to show you how. I need your help running some numbers. I will help you with that. Okay. You won't be doing it by yourself. And then once we've got those numbers back, I need you to hop on a phone call with me or a video chat. Most of you have my Calendly link. If not, there it is right there. You can hop on my calendar anytime, book a 30-minute call, and we'll hop on and we'll look at some numbers together to verify, is this really a deal or not? Is there enough money here to go around for us to do this deal? Okay. I've got this Flipping with Phil training program that I just created. It's only $47. And in this training program, I'm going to show you how to go out and find these deals. I mentioned off-market deals, told you a little bit about what I'm doing. There are a bunch of ways that you can go out there and find deals on properties without spending money, without having to hire anybody. And a lot of it can be done in your spare time, at night, on the weekend, on your lunch break, on your bathroom break at work. You have a big advantage in that you are able to put your time into it in the beginning, and you don't have to spend much money. That's what I'm going to show you how to do in this training program. It's only $47. I'm going to break down to you exactly what I would do to get started if I was brand new, if I had to start all over again. In this training program, I'm going to show you how to find deals. We're going to go over the lead sources, what to say to them, what to look for. Again, no money needed, totally free ways to generate leads. I'm going to go over with you working with contractors. I mentioned that spreadsheet that has the estimates on there where you can estimate flooring and paint and HVAC and windows and appliances and countertops. You are going to get that in the program, and you're going to be shown how to use it so that you can go out there and make some educated guesses yourself, or even just looking at the photos online. You could go through that spreadsheet and kind of come up with what you think it would cost to rehab that property. All right. It's at least a good place to get started as you're trying to analyze deals. The contractor is going to really be the one giving you the best numbers, but you kind of need something in the meantime because, again, we don't want to be wasting our contractors' time. We want them working out on the property that we've got right now to flip. We don't want them wasting all their time going and looking at 10 other houses that we might not even buy. Okay. You've also got to, when you are under contract with a contractor, you've got to track invoices, and you've got to track. If we say phase one is going to be $15,500, Well, how do we pay that out? When do we pay that out? How do we track it? Are we comparing what the contractor told us the price would be versus what the price actually ended up being? We grade our contractors based off of that. If they told us it was going to be 15.5, we have tools in place to help us measure how accurate their numbers were. And we determine whether we're going to use them or not in the future based on those numbers. I would recommend doing the same. You'll get all that kind of stuff throughout this program again for 47 bucks. Also, making offers. All right. Making offers on pieces of real estate is not like going down to the used car lot. All right. You're not haggling that way. But I'm going to show you how I personally negotiate, what works best for me. A lot of it can be done remotely. And for many of you on here, it's not going to cost you any money to make offers. It's just going to cost you a little bit of time. And there's even ways to automate some of that. Okay. Again, this is a starting point program for 47 bucks. If you're really wanting to get into flipping and you just need somebody to kind of show you how to get started, this is what this program is for. Okay. There is a weekly coaching program out there for those who want more. It is quite a bit more expensive. So I would recommend starting off with this $47 course, seeing if you get value out of it, not making a huge money commitment. Again, there are training programs out there that for investors where, it's 2,500 bucks to 25,000 bucks just to get started. I would not start off there. All right. I'm cheap. I would start off small. And that's why I created this program. And we are continually adding and recording new and improved content to this $47 course. Okay. So you'll have lifetime access to it. You can go through it now. You can go through it again 3 months from now. If you need to go back through part of it later, you will have full access to it. It is in an on-demand recorded style. You can go through it as fast or as slow as you want to. Okay. Again, what I want you to do is I want you to find a deal using the things that you're going to learn about in the program. I'll help you run the numbers, and then I will partner with you on the flip and coach you throughout the process. Okay. We will have a weekly call at a minimum where we will go through our numbers, our spreadsheets, our trackers, the finances, any issues that are coming up. All right. You will learn a lot through this process. It won't be like, hey, give me your money, find a deal, and I'm just going to handle it all. You will learn a lot through this process. It'll probably be the most eye-opening way for you to learn outside of you just going out and doing it on your own and winging it. You'll actually be shown the right way to do it, a way that works, a way that's proven, and you will leave from this partnership program with tools in place to help you do your next flip and your next flip and your next flip. Okay. So you'll get tools through this that you can use even when you're out there doing flips on your own. Okay. Again, there's just a little simple sign up form to sign up for that program. I will have to add you to this once your order form comes through. And if you are interested in being part of that program, that is the QR code right there. You can just scan that with your phone real quick, or you can go to that link right there, which I will also put in the comments here for those that need that link. I'm going to post that in the comments below so that you have access to that as well. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And I hope this was helpful for you. Again, there is no reason out there why you can't be flipping houses. There are no excuses. You've got somebody who will help you do it. You've got somebody who will put up money to help you do it, as long as you follow the things that we're going to teach you in the course. So best of luck to you. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you real soon.